Students, good morning. Again, I am so happy to see you once again through this CETEL YouTube channel. Today, we begin with one of the most important, interesting and fascinating subjects in chemical engineering, what you call the mass transfer operations. This class provides a brief information on what is mass transfer. A brief information on what is mass transfer. Students, a substantial number of unit operations of chemical engineering unit operations of chemical engineering that are concerned with the problem of changing the compositions of solution and mixers. Changing the composition of solution and mixers. The unit operations of chemical engineering that are concerned with the problem of changing the composition of solution and mixers. The unit operations are mainly directed towards the separation of a substance into its component parts. Separation of a component, separation of a substance into its component parts. Separation of a substance into its component parts. Not necessarily involving chemical reactions. This is main important. Not necessarily involving chemical reactions. Where the unit operations of chemical engineering mainly directed towards separation of a substance into its component parts, not necessarily involving chemical reactions. Important point. Next, for mixers, the method may be entirely mechanical separation. Mechanical separation. Say for example, filtration, screening, density separation and so on. This is not our concern. At the same time, if the operations involves changes in composition of a solution, operations involve changes in operation DAOM operation involves changes in composition of solutions, the operation is known as mass transfer operation. So perfect definition for mass transfer operation is an operation involves changes in composition of a solution. Clear? Good. The applications of mass transfer operation is profound in chemical process industries. The application of mass transfer operation is wide in chemical process industries. Moreover, the important thing is the cost of the process. Cost of the process. Why I am saying this one is, there is no such process without pre-treatment of raw materials and separation and purification of products from byproducts. Say for example, consider we have a raw material. This is converted into useful product. At the same time, it forms byproduct, inert, catalyst and unreacted reactant. What I am trying to say is, in chemical, this is called as a reaction. Through some reaction, the reactant is or raw material is converted into useful product. Along this useful product, there will be a formation of byproduct, inert, catalyst and unreactant reactant. What I am trying to say is, there is no such process without pre-treatment of raw material and separation and purification of product from its byproduct. Separation of product from byproduct. Separation and purification of product and byproduct. Separation and purification of of desired product. Why I am saying this one? The cost of a process, major part of a cost of the process. Cost of a process is that for separation and purification of desired product. This cost depends on the ratio of final concentration to initial concentration of the desired product. Cost of a process depends on ratio of final concentration to initial concentration. Final concentration to initial concentration of the desired product. If this ratio is too high, the product cost is more or process cost is more. If the ratio is less, the process cost is less. Say for example, sulfuric acid is a low cost product. Sulfuric acid, H2SO4 is low cost. Why I am saying? What is the reason? That means availability of sulfur in nature, the concentration of availability of sulfur in nature is too high, relatively high. Hence, the product sulfuric acid is low cost product. At the same time, uranium, the process cost for uranium is more because the concentration in which it is found in nature is low. The concentration or low concentration in which it is found in nature. Due to its less concentration, the process cost will be more. This is the main information. Right. Mass transfer operations are characterized by, I am already telling that what is meant by mass transfer operation. An operation which involves changes in composition of a solution is called as mass transfer operation. Then the mass transfer operations are characterized by transfer of a substance on its molecular scale. Mass transfer operation is characterized by transfer of a substance on its molecular scale. Let us provide a detailed information on this statement. For this, let us consider a pool. It is filled with water. A pool. Water. We have two ways to remove the water from the pool. Either by means of pumping the liquid through pipelines. We can remove the water by using a pump through pipelines. This is one way. Another way is evaporation of water molecules. Evaporation of water molecules. Evaporation of water molecules. Evaporation of water molecules or water evaporates into an air stream. Into an air stream. Flowing over and above the surface of the water due to its pressure difference. Listen carefully. Due to this pressure difference or pressure gradient. Clear? What is the meaning of pressure difference? Say for example, how water gets evaporated. Can any one of you explain how water gets evaporated? We have two different types of pressure. When water it is in liquid form, it exerts a pressure against atmosphere. This pressure is called as vapor pressure. Vapor pressure. The same water in the atmosphere, what you call the water vapor. The water vapor exerts certain pressure against atmosphere. That pressure is called as partial pressure. Partial pressure. Pressure exerted by the water in its liquid form is called as vapor pressure. Pressure exerted by water in its vapor form is called as partial pressure. When partial pressure is less than that of vapor pressure of liquid water, listen carefully, the partial pressure of water vapor present in the air, if it is less than that of the vapor pressure of liquid water, then the water will evaporate into the air and diffuses into the main stream of air stream, main portion of the air stream. Are you clear? Evaporation happens when partial pressure of water vapor present in the atmosphere, if it is less than that of the vapor pressure of water, liquid water, then water will evaporate and diffuses into the main portion of the air stream. So pressure difference is must. Are you clear? Mass transfer operations are characterized by transfer of a substance on its molecular scale by either by pressure difference or by concentration difference, something like that. This is the brief information on mass transfer operations. This is called as bulk movement. This is called as bulk movement. This is called as diffusional movement. Bulk movement. This is called as diffusional movement. I think now you are very clear. Mass transfer operations. Mass transfer operations are mainly used for separation process, downstream process. Clear? Mass transfer operations is nothing but an operation which involves changes in composition of a solution. Then operation is called as mass transfer operation. Mass transfer operations are characterized by transfer of a substance on its molecular scale, either by pressure difference or pressure gradient, or by concentration difference or concentration gradient, something like that. This is the diffusional movement. Clear? Thank you.